Okay, hey everyone, welcome to our winter porch pot workshop. This is going to be offered several times. We have Saturday options. You should come over here because nobody can see my mom. We are the Garden Girls and love to share these videos so that you can watch them ahead of time so that when you get here, we can just have tons of fun and start decorating, right?
Right. It's going to be a great event.
It always is. I mean, and what I love to see that I've really noticed in the past few years, this used to be just women who would come or a group of women, girls' night out, but I've seen this be more of like a date night. There's more guys coming, decorating together. It's helpful to have more guys because they have a little more strength to put some of these things in, but it's great to see. So this is fun for everyone. So when you get here, we are out here in the greenhouse. We do have heaters running, but depending on the weather, you might want to make sure that you have a coat or a hat or mittens.
Well, in the evening, it's cooler. The sun isn't out. No, right now it's hot out
here. It's glorious, yes. It's wonderful. And then we will have some of these little nippers available, but if you bring your own, you won't have to wait in line or have to wait to be decorating to use it. So bring one of these. This is yours, huh? You got your K. Reisdorf. Yeah. It's going nowhere. And then we will have some scissors because some things are like in plastic and we need to cut them open. But we have a great team here that can help you with selecting all of your materials and then also helping to get them into place. So this winter porch pot comes in two options. One is the regular fiber pot, the lower one that can either just be set out as is or dropped into an existing container that you have. And then the other one is the urns. So this is obviously a little bit beefier, a little more height, a little more expensive in this size just because you can see the big difference, right? And then when you get here, you will have the choice of so many different decorations. I can't believe it. That's going to be the hardest part, is really narrowing where you want to go.
Right, because you have to be able to, in your mind, make the arrangement when you're making your selections. And that's one thing we want to talk about so that once you start, you don't have 4 different looks going into one container.
So most everything is located right out here in the greenhouse, right behind us. It's nice because it's color coded, but then we also have some things in that we were just going through and picking out some ideas in our design department. So there are some other options out there. You'll get a little sheet of paper to tally up what you are putting in here because everything is a la carte.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see this. Okay, don't ever stick your finger into this burst. Are you okay?
I'm all right.
All right, okay, so do you want to talk about lights?
Well, I think that's one of the major components that is kind of hard to see during the daytime, but at night, when your porch pot is 40 feet away from the street, the average passerby can't really see what's all in the container. So the lighting becomes the most important part. And you want to talk about
because we're entering the dark ages of winter, right? We're losing daylight by the minute. So lighting, again, like she said, is really, really important. I'm going to decorate this one first. I should say on your little tally sheet, you're going to get 20% off of all of the decorations that you put in there. But that excludes the lights, so it includes everything else. Lights are not included on that discount, but that will be your little tally sheet, and then we will have some refreshments here for you also to enjoy, and just to help to get those creative juices flowing. We'll have some wine available, and we're just gonna have a wonderful time. So I feel a little rusty, like this is my first one of the year, but we're gonna start off, and I like to put the largest materials in first. So this one is gonna be a little more natural looking, and I am still in love with the birch. To me, that is just a nice winter look is what I'm going for here. And these branches, so you're gonna be bringing this home. It needs to fit in a vehicle that you can transport this. And so these birch branches you might be putting in just to decorate and know where to place your material, but then you might have to take it out in the car. Sometimes people know somebody and they get a whole
Maybe in a van.
A van or
a pickup truck or.
Pickup trucks are awesome. Finding a friend that's got one of those, and then everybody can load up in there. But the birch is great, and I usually do things in clusters of 3s. And you can see these are kind of emanating from the center of the container and coming out. They're not just like kind of randomly all stuck out throughout the container. Ta-da! Okay, so feel good about that. That was kind of my inspiration. And then lighting's really important. So we have lots of these. These are plug-in lights, and so they come in lots of different colors. This is the trio, the 3 different branches. My mom has the burst. And there's a couple, different ways that you can do that. So the burst sticks right in here, and then you have to kind of be Mother Nature to space this around. But again, this is in a trio, so I'm going to space this kind of around my birch. This is in this beautiful pure white color, so it shows up really nice.
So these are all connected, and this is a total of 60 lights. The burst is 140 lights. So there's a little bit of a price difference here, and but they are 50,000 hours. They are like a 100-year piece of.
You pass these down from generation to generation. And I use these all the time. I mean, it isn't just in my winter container. Spring, summer, fall. The lights are just so wonderful to incorporate into your container. I have one pot, especially at my front door, where it can be kind of dark there, and so I'm always adding the lights to that. Another option for height here is these beautiful just white crisp branches, and these are $1.79 a piece, not bad at all. And this is just going to help it to pop a little bit more, so I'm putting these into place. This is going to be our just a little more wintry one. And with these wintry ones, you can always add something festive and Christmassy. I think you've got some fun Christmas things over there that could go in for the Christmas season, and then take out for the winter. After Christmas, you go into January, February. All of these greens have been coated. There's like a nice plastic coating on here so that they stay green throughout the entire season. I mean, for so long. Oh, here's the fun stuff.
So, this year we have these snowmen, which are on quite a long stake.
See how cute they are?
So they could be inserted in the front, just in the front.
This one will be perfect for my container.
And there
I love the plaid
options for the humbug people, and we even have just this. Everybody knows this part, right? The Grinch hand, okay? And of course we have cardinals, we have gnomes, we have all sorts of options.
And our team will be walking around and helping to make recommendations for you of if something doesn't quite look right or you're struggling to find a look, we can always help you with that. I'm just going to move these.
Do you have any cones for this one?
I do have cones,
okay.
Mom.
Well, cones are so essential. I mean, this is Wisconsin, right? And all these cones come pretty much from Wisconsin. We do have some that are already on a stake. It's easy for you to.
I'm going to do my berries first because I always do the tallest, kind of biggest things first. So, do you want to talk about our berries and why they're so awesome?
Well, I don't know that anybody has a larger selection. When you get out here, you're just overwhelmed by how many options there are. They are pretty much all weather resistant. That's not to say that in freezing temperatures that we have, like below 0 weather, that some of these little berries might pop. But I think you just have to get over that and just enjoy them for the season, and most of them last a few years. They're at every single price point. They're anywhere from $3.49 to $9.99, depending on the amount of berries that are in the spray.
Right. I always like these little. These are a little bit bigger. This is like more of like a cherry berry, I call it. So it shows up really nice. It's playing right back to the snowman. This is another little cluster that I'm just putting up in the front here. It's not as long, but it kind of helps to fill in any kind of voids, and I think that red really pops. So now to the cones. This is one that I really liked this year. It has the white tipped ones are great, and I usually always use those in this container, but this is a new fun one that just has this frost on it. So it's nice and gentle.
Well, it plays back to the birch branches really well.
Right.
And if you are doing something in a more natural setting, there are lots of artificial sprays that can be added. We didn't do it really right here, but it could be. You want to show this one?
Sure.
Maybe?
So this has a cluster of the pines, different ones here, and again, they're frosted, and some freesia in here. A bell is always nice. We have some that are plain, like this arborvitae. And again, you're going to have to be Mother Nature and shape this, out a little bit to put in here. So if you do want some of that other texture in there, we have tons of eucalyptus. So we are in love with eucalyptus. So it just depends on which speaks to you, okay? There's no right or wrong here. I really like this it's kind of in between, right? It has a little bit of frost to it. It's not too green, not too light. And that I'm going to work into this container because I love the birch and eucalyptus together.
So when you select your eucalyptus, of the 4 kinds that we're offering, you probably want to pick one of those and use that rather than using 4 different kinds. Otherwise, you end up with a little bit of a fragmented look. But there are frosted ones, and there are other long needle
Here's
pine.
some real pretty pine, this little frosted eucalyptus. So we have so many options this year just because this workshop has really expanded, and we want to show you, what you can do with that. More is coming. Okay, this is a little drapey one. This would be great in the urn, depending on the look that you're going for, but you can see how this drapes over the container. And I love bells, okay? They just bring joy. They're bright, they're festive. Lots of different options here. We have so many different bells. I'm going for this rustic look in mine. Oh, here they come. There's a red, plain red with a little holly, and then the green and red together. So lots of options and things that you can stick in the container. The great thing is that if you put something in and you don't like where you put it, it's so much easier than planting because it's hard to kind of move the plant with the roots. But these just have a little stick. I try to leave this on and not cut it too short if I can. But we'll show you in the next one, there are some times that you just because you don't want like the ornament ball that we're going to be talking about sticking out too far from the container. So this is, and we'll have these on display for some inspiration. We'll have some inspiration containers that we created. My pine cones are always in clusters together in there, and I like to pick different sizes. So you can see this one's a little bit bigger than this one, and they're going to go over here on this side right by my Mr. Snowman. Now, as I get set up for the urn one, Mom, do you want to talk about like the care?
Well, this is,
I love this guy.
these containers are potting soil. And so what you can do, we've had some really warm weather.
Yeah.
And I would say that you probably want to do some, you can water these in. And the wetter the soil is, I don't know exactly how much is going to be drawn up into the evergreens themselves, but when it does freeze hard, there will be enough moisture in there so that the whole thing will become one solid mass and you won't have any parts blowing away. It is, for those of you that have done this in the past and you say, oh, I already have that black urn, the shorter tub fits into the urn. So if you already have that, rather than bring in your old urn and try to deal with that, the best thing to do is to do the smaller one and then drop it into the urn itself.
There you go. Oh, this is so fun. I hope you talk about this. We'll get to this in 1 second. So I'd say pick an inspiration piece. So when I was walking around coming up with some ideas, we have so many of these little stakes that can be put in there. This little gnome for the holidays. How cute is that?
It could be any kind of yard art, and sometimes you just see it out on the lawn, but I think when you incorporate it into a front door piece, it has a lot more presence.
This is the red and white lights, which I thought were absolutely perfect. Thanks, Mom. To mix in this red and white container that I'm doing. I could add some more of those white branches in here. I think that would really help to make it pop. But the lights are key. And you have another light set over there.
Well, I do.
The battery operated
we do
too.
have some battery options, and this one is probably the better thing to do is to use more lights than you think you're going to need, because there's a lot of space to cover on the evergreens. This one is, come around, this one is 192 lights on a battery like this. This is totally waterproof, and it has 8 functions with a memory, so that when you set it, it will always come back to that the next day. The battery, this is a special long life set, and it is designed to last 50 days with a timer. So the timer can go on every night from 4 to 10, to 6-hour timer.
That's so
and
awesome.
Then that will last you 50 days. So that's like from Thanksgiving well through Christmas on one set of batteries. So this can be, I can see if I can take it off to see how it is. You can tuck the battery pack down into the lights and then just start around. They're not even turned on, but you can just start around
Here, they're on. They're ready to go.
in here, and you
8
can
functions.
just kind of wire them back and forth, and just keep going around. And then you can even go up the stems of some of the branches if you want.
I'm just laying it so it doesn't,
So
you don't lose it.
having 192 lights helps
Yeah,
you
that's
get all the way
fantastic.
around the back and up some of the stems, and I think that's one of the best bargains that we have. We certainly have smaller light sets, but I think this will give you the most look in a battery set.
I just love these Christmas ornaments, and I love to mix different sizes together. So, and the shiny and the glitter together is really nice. So again, put them in clusters. And this is one that you want to make sure that it's not sticking out, you know, up here. Like that doesn't look good. So push it down and get it into your arrangement. These are great new pine cones. Did you see these?
Yeah, they're wonderful. We use them at the fashion show. They are 3 together. And
3
they're
together.
jumbo
So
cones.
that makes it really easy for placement. But these are, they're only $7.99, and you get all 3 with that white tipped. So that is great to stick in the container. And again, they're all clustered together. I love that. And then we also have the option of the twofer.
Those
These
are
are
only
$2.99. I can't believe these are only $2.99.
Well, you know, nothing grows exactly straight in nature, and so when you have a cone like this, you want to bend the wires a little bit so that it's a little more natural and doesn't look so stiff.
I can put that on this side.
Okay.
And then these are really cute. I thought they looked cute with my gnome.
Especially when we have a little novelty in the center. The kids like that.
All right, I'm ready.
Anything that dances in the wind is always a little more fun.
Oh, and then these little snowflakes I thought would show up really nice. And they're only 99 cents. This one's my go all out one.
Yeah. Not done till it's overdone.
You just keep going. It makes me happy.
You can do kind of a high left, low right with the.
Ooh. All right, so our Milliger family, we will be here in addition to some other staff members to be able to help guide you, answer any questions. This is such a fun time to allow you to just create and be yourself and find different new fresh decorations. Some people say, well, I already have decorations at home. I do too, and they don't look so great, all right? Some maybe do, but I always feel like it's important to layer in something new, something fresh, so that your container always looks updated, right? That's important, and there's so many fun new ideas and different combinations that you can do. So I think that these
Well, if you have
look great.
old decorations, you always put them in the backyard.
That's a good idea. Just do that. All right, anything else you can think of?
Well, sign up now, and then, or you can come in ahead of time or come in early that night and walk the area so that you can see all the options and think about it before you actually get going.
All right, we can't wait to see you. This is such a fun workshop, and welcome to winter here at Milliger's.